Hey guys, so here's what happened. For those who are speculating, okay? So we get to Singapore, which we're still in Singapore at the moment. It was a mess. It was an absolute fucking mess. Because we had already been traveling 17 hours. We traveled from Istanbul to Dubai, which is 5 hours. We stopped in Dubai for 5 hours. We traveled from Dubai to Singapore for 7 hours. That's 17 hours. So we get here, everything's chill. We've only got 2 hours here. We get to the plane, right, to, we issue your boarding pass, and I says to the lady there, is there any chance of an upgrade? Because I'd been trying to upgrade for about 5 days to try to get into business, because I know, I should, I'm in pain, guys, okay? So, but not excruciating pain. But I thought, you know what, I need some comfort. So I said, hey, is there any chance of upgrading? And they say, oh, actually, the plane is full. I said, okay, cool. So we get to the plane where you get on, like actually you're inside the plane. And my husband says this, oh, my wife has had surgery. Is there any other seats, even extra legroom? And this one lady, who's not even boarding the flight, she's stationed here in Singapore. She gets on, and then she just, makes sure everything is more okay, and then she gets off. That lady, she overhears what my husband says to the cabin crew. And she said, how long ago did she have surgery? And my husband said, the 23rd. And she goes, get off the plane. And even the other women there, the cabin crews, they're trying to, because we haven't said anything. It's all we've said. And she said, no, you have to come, get off the plane. So we step off the plane, and then she's like, she pulls out her phone, and she's like, I have to ring this and that, and she's like fucking going nuts. This is like escalated in about 5 seconds from my husband just saying surgery, right? And the other cabin crew member goes, do you have clearance? So my husband pulls out the paper. That lady, she's listening. And then she takes the paper, she looks at it, she doesn't even read it, and she goes, you have to get off the plane. All right? So we get off the plane, and I said to her, because we'd used that clearance at the airport in Istanbul. They gave us like a wheelchair to get to the plane. We used that in Dubai. They were okay, they were cool, and except for her. So she just scans it. She doesn't even read it. And she goes, no, I have to make a phone call. And she goes, yes, we're at here, and I've got 2 passengers. One of them's had an operation, and they're going to Melbourne. And then she goes, does she need a doctor's clearance? And I said to her, I'm trying to explain to her, we've just traveled 17 hours. And she's not listening. She's not having a bar. She's not listening to what I'm saying. She's not listening to what my husband's saying. She's just on the phone. So I said, is there a chance we're going to get on this flight? Because in 15 minutes it's going to leave. And she's not even listening to that. I said, I want to get home. Because, guys, in my brain, I've set myself up for this flight mentally. I'm physically okay to do that 7 hours. I'm fine. And I was actually shocked that because we were in economy from Dubai to Singapore, which was 7.5 hours, and I did really well. You know, just getting up every hour for 10 minutes, have a walk up and down. I was fine. I was flying through it. I was fucking pumped to get home, right? I'm in a high mood. I've rang my kids and we're nearly home, you know. I'm in a high mood. And then she says, 1 second. She walks down that thing that you go into the plane. We're still stuck in that thing. She walks down, she's on the phone, she comes back, she goes, I'm sorry, the captain won't take a risk and you have to stay. And I couldn't believe it, guys. And I said, you're not listening to what I'm saying. And she goes, I'm sorry, the captain won't let you on. And he's not willing to wait for you. So we end up back where you sit to wait to board the plane. So she's got no answers after that. So the plane, that was it. That was all she had to say. Get off the plane. She makes a phone call. She goes, you're not leaving. And the captain's not willing to wait. And he's not allowing you on the plane. I'm fucked in my brain, guys. If you understand, 17 hours travel, you're exhausted already. You're already tired, guys. You're sitting in a plane, 17 hours. Okay, we had 5 hours in Dubai, but still, that's 5 hours just waiting, right? So anyways, the kicker comes after that. So when I'm on my live and I'm telling you this, we had literally just got off. And the reason I go live, guys, it's because it's to document the actual what's happening at the actual time. So I turn around and I'm like, okay, so what now? She doesn't know. Oh, you have to see the doctor. I say, where? What? Like where? What are we gonna do now? And then she's like, oh, you're gonna have to see the doctor. Then after that, collect your bags because they got taken off the plane. In that short amount of time, guys, in that short amount of time, your bags got taken off the plane. You have to see the doctor, get the clearance, go and collect your bags and go to a motel. And I said, am I paying for it? And she said, yes. And I'm thinking in my brain, what if I didn't have money? So for those of you who thought that I didn't have clearance, of course we had clearance. We got clearance from the doctor on paperwork, which we still have, which does my fucking head in. Anyways, doesn't matter, because we flew from Istanbul, 2 flights to Singapore on Emirates. Now we're on Qantas. We all, you know what I mean? Anyways, so we waited 3 fucking hours. First we waited right there for an hour because she's like, oh, she's scrambling around on her phone and she's calling people to come over, making a big hoopla. And then she turns around and I says to her, so I got to pay for a hotel, I've got to pay for a doctor. Yeah, Wendy, listen, I gave them the clearance letter. She had it when she made the call to the whoever fucking she called. She just didn't read it. She didn't acknowledge it. That's the fucker. And it's in English. Anyways, so we end up sitting there for an hour while she's scrambling around on her phone because she wanted to be the big boss lady in front of the whole cabin crew. And, you know, no, get off the plane. And so now the plane's gone and we're sitting in that place and she doesn't know what to do with us. So she calls another lady. She goes, oh, you're going to stay with her. She's going to look after you. And she fucks off. So now we're stuck with this lady who's actually from Singapore, and she's like, I'm gonna call a buggy because the airport is so huge. There's a train system in here. It is humongous. So she goes, we're gonna call a buggy and you're gonna go to the doctor. So we go down to the doctor after an hour. The doctor's at an emergency, so we're there for 3 hours. And so all of this time, you know, we're not sleeping or anything like that. So this is like going on 21 hours, 22 hours. So for 3 hours, we're waiting for the doctor. The doctor comes, and this is the funny part, I'll tell you this. So the lady who called the buggy, she said, what's the problem? What happened? And I said, we gave her the clearance that we were telling the crew. My husband just asked for extra leg room, said I had a surgery, and she straight away made this face. She was like, and she goes, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. We get to the doctors. The lady there who we got passed to, she waited with us for 3 hours. There again from Singapore. She asked us what happened, and we told her, and she said, oh no, I'm so sorry. And she goes, they took you off the plane? I said, yeah. And she was shocked. And then when we got to see the doctor says, so tell me what happened. Are you feeling okay? I said, I'm fine. I'm fine to travel. I've traveled from Istanbul. And he said, so what happened? My husband said to him, all I asked was, my wife has had surgery. And he goes, oh, stop right there. He goes, they don't want to hear that. They don't care about that. He said, because, you know, he says, this is exactly what the doctor said. If you're okay, don't say anything. He goes, you shouldn't have said anything. That's what the doctor said. So anyway, too late. And then the doctor wrote up the clearance for us to travel. So I said to the lady who's looking after us, so what happens now? And she goes, oh, that's right. Before that lady left, she said, get on to booking.com, Trivago or something like that. Book yourself into this motel, which is outside the airport. She goes, so you'll have to collect your bags, go outside the airport, then come back to the airport at 3 p.m. and then you'll have to go through customs again and go through clearance again, and then come back to Terminal 1, right? This and that. It's not easy here in Singapore because it's fucking huge. So that lady who came with us to the doctor, she said, so what did you do? I said, we booked a hotel that she told us to get, which cost us like 250 Australian dollars. And then she goes, oh, there's a hotel here inside the airport, the transit hotel. She goes, let me make a phone call. She makes a phone call. She explains to them. She goes, there's a room, you can stay there either 6 hours or 12 hours, but you have to pay. But you don't have to go out. You don't have to clear your bags again. Your bags are gone to lost and found, and then when you're about to leave, they'll release them to the plane that you're going to. You don't have to get your bags again. And I'm thinking, why didn't the Qantas lady tell me this? To try to make it easy, she goes, you shouldn't go outside the airport because it's, she goes, you have to come back in through the customs. And I'm thinking, there's a fucking hotel in here, and why didn't you tell us this? And for the, what, yeah, it was a mess. So anyway, by this time, guys, my nurse in Istanbul told me that I will have a bit of swelling. So when we got to Singapore, there was a bit of swelling. This is why I'm angry, guys. Not because, fucking this and when you're going through a lot of travel and you're in a pain and discomfort, it makes a difference. So if you're sitting on the couch, oh, you should have done this, should have done that, just shut up. right? Because you're not here. You don't know. You don't work for the Qantas Airlines. You don't work for customs. You don't have a fucking idea, because you're not in pain. You're not in distress. So just shut up. Just enjoy the show, okay? Get your facts together. Who's gonna have the facts? I'm gonna have the facts. So anyway, the doctor gave us the clearance, and then we had to wait another hour for, hey honey, come. I didn't get us a coffee. Oh, that'd be nice. So I didn't get us another, what was I gonna say? Everything's a blur, guys. Everything's a blur. Oh yeah. So the lady goes to me, I said to my husband, I already paid for the other motel. He goes, fuck it, babe. Just fuck it. So, because he goes, there's no point in us leaving the airport, which I totally agree with. And that was at the advice of the Qantas lady. And so she just up and left. She just didn't give a shit. She just fucking took us off that flight, made a few phone calls, and she goes, this lady's gonna take care of you. And she fucked off. And I'm like, that was just a display of, I'm the boss lady. That's all it was. She didn't ask any questions. She didn't anything. The cabin crew was trying to help us, and she was just like, get off the plane. Fuck off. Who the fuck are you? And she wasn't even boarding that flight. What? So anyway, we had to wait for a buggy to come and bring us to this motel, because you can't walk it, guys. It's very, very far, and the trains had stopped. So we made it back to the motel. So we're still here. So today we've got to go back to Terminal 1, let them know to release our bags from Lost and Found, go to show our clearance letters to, I don't know, because we got passed to this lady, we got passed to this lady, we got passed to this man. The doctor says one thing, so I don't know even who was supposed to give the clearance letters to. And so we ended up at this motel here within the airport. And we're supposed to get a flight out of here at 7:30. So as soon as, this is a stupid thing, as soon as she took us off that plane, and I said, what are we doing here now? She goes to me, don't worry, you can catch the next flight at 7:30 tomorrow night. This is me in my brain. Why take us off this flight if you're already going to rebook us on another flight and you're saying this without clearance? What was the whole point? Like, I don't get. And then she says, remember that, babe? She goes to me, oh, look, we can't arrange the ride for you to the doctor. Can you walk there? It's like 5 minutes. I said, you took me off the plane because you said I need a clearance, but you want me to walk down to the doctor's office, which wasn't 5 minutes, guys. We were on a buggy, honey? Yeah, we were on a buggy for about 5 minutes. That walk would have taken me, I don't know, half an hour. So I'm like, why take me off a plane? You clearly don't. You're not a doctor. You're not a fucking doctor. That's why when you read the clearance letter, you have fuck all idea. So you took me off that plane only to watch my ass walk half an hour. Fuck off. It was a complete shambles. That's what it was. Yeah. So instead of saying, hey, it's up to the doctor when you get the clearance, she just goes, no, we've taken you off this one. You'll catch the next flight out at 7:30. Yeah. And I was like, why would you take me off here just to put me on another one tomorrow? and you haven't even got the doctor's clearance yet, and you already put me on another flight. What? Yeah, so to me it was a total overreaction by this woman who didn't even board the flight. The cabin crew were going to help us, huh? The cabin crew.
Yeah.
It was her. And she didn't even board the flight. What the fuck? And I know that some of you in the comments are saying you should have had clearance. We had clearance. We gave it to her. The cabin crew were looking at it, and then she took it, get off the plane. She wasn't even reading it. She wasn't listening to us. She was not listening to what we just said. And then we told the doctor, and the doctor said, you shouldn't tell them. Exactly, that's what he... And I think he sees it all the time. He was like, you shouldn't have told them. How are you feeling? I said, I'm feeling fine. A little discomfort, but I'm fine, you know, because anytime you travel and you've been on to travel for 17 hours, of course you've got discomfort with or without fucking operation, you know. And he's like, I'm so sorry this happened. That's the doctor. So he must see this a lot. If you can clear in Istanbul and you can clear in Dubai, but those are two Emirate flights, and then you're just trying to get back, and we were literally on the plane. They're trying to allocate our seats. Why doesn't our clearance work with Qantas?
If you don't have money, you suffer here. That's the problem. They don't give a shit you got money or not.
Yeah. Because guys, she doesn't
money.
know our financial. She wouldn't have a clue. If I didn't have money, I wouldn't have been able to book this place. We wouldn't have been able to fucking have a feed. We wouldn't have been able to do anything. She just took us off the plane. That's not nice, man. And then she's like, oh yeah, you can get this motel, this and that, and it's just down there. And she's telling the other lady, and then she's like, go to booking.com, and this and that, and you can get it cheaper. And so we booked it, only for the lady from Singapore to say, why? Because there's one inside the airport. And then you don't have to go outside the airport, take your bags, and then come back, clear everything. It doesn't make sense. It's just stupid. Anyway, that's what happened, guys. So we're still in Singapore, and it's 11:40. Any other time, guys, I wouldn't give a shit. You know me, I wouldn't care. I would get stuck anywhere in the world, I don't care. But not like this, you know, not like this. It's not nice to get stuck somewhere like this. Yeah, I just want to get home at this point. So do I feel like she botched it? Yeah. Well, some of you are going to say, yeah, but you have to have clearance. We had the clearance. So what's the problem? You know, that's the thing. And if the woman, the staff member, whoever she is not going to read it, or just took it from here, right here, all within like, fucking, you only just said, you know, my wife had a surgery, can we get a different seat? That to there was like 1 minute. Hey,
Yeah.
1 minute. And she was like, no. And then he gave her the clearance and she said, get off the plane. 1 minute. No listening, no nothing, no reading the clearance, nothing. So, did we do anything wrong? You might think, oh yeah, but since you need clearance, we had it.
We have to let her.
Yeah. So anyway, it's 11:40 and we've booked this room until 3 p.m. And then we've got I don't know, it's a blur after that, guys, because I was so fucking exhausted. By the time we got back to our room, we'd been on it for about 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, about 23 hours. So I can't really remember what, I think they got come and get us, take us back to the terminal. I don't know who we showed the letter to. I bet you something. I bet you if we got on the plane and we didn't say fucking nothing today, they wouldn't know. That's the stupid part. If we got on the plane today and we said nothing, they probably wouldn't know and just take a seat. And then the lost property will send our luggage, you know, they'll put it onto the flight we're going on somehow. I don't know how they work it out. So, yeah. What is this? There is a crew just leaving Istanbul now since they just had gastro. They all made... Guys, I know you have to. This is the thing. When you leave Istanbul, the doctor writes you out the clearance and signs it. It's on a actual hospital paper. It's not like a little dumb note, right? So everyone gets clearance to travel. They'll be fine. It's just this one bitch decided she wanted to play hierarchy. She wanted to play boss bitch. She wanted to cause a scene and make it look like she was, authority. Took us off that plane and then didn't know what to do with us. Handed us over to someone and pissed off. Because I asked her the question. I said, so you took us off the plane, so now what?
The door already closed.
And I said, so what do we do now? You're gonna have to go to the doctor. Where's the doctor? She didn't know. And then I said to her, so where are we gonna stay? And she goes, you have to get a motel. I said, at our expense? And she said, yes. I said, so you took us off the plane and now we have to pay for a motel and we had to pay for the doctor. How much did we pay?
$230 doctor.
$230 for the doctor for 5 minutes, and he thought it was a joke. $250 for the doctor. What if we didn't have that money? What the fuck were we gonna do? But we already had a clearance, and he asked for our clearance, and we gave it to him. He was just like, he didn't even take it seriously. He just thought, and he said, oh no, don't. He said, yeah, your surgery is nearly 2 weeks ago. How do you feel? I said, I feel good. He said, I'm so sorry that happened. He goes, what happened? And we told him, and he just thought it was a joke. If I didn't have clearance to travel, yeah, I could say, yeah, okay, fair call. Because I'm not a dumb person, guys, right? And I could see her attitude, her professionalism, her lack thereof. She was just, and she was so fucking scattered. She was panicking, trying to ring here, trying to ring there, and then suddenly she said the captain's not willing to take you on. He's not going to take the risk, and he's not willing to wait for you. They're taking your bags off now. You can't board this flight. That was all in 5 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck? So...
And the doctor give you clearance because of the other doctor's reference.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
ironic.
So this doctor, he gave us clearance because of the letter the doctor in Istanbul gave us. Wait. He didn't even have a look at me. He didn't. He said, how are you feeling? I said, we've flown already. We've been on traveling 7 hours. We took a 5-hour and a 7-hour flight already. And he said, oh. And he just filled out the forms, ticked it off and said, that's okay. That's it. She was, yes, thank you, Angel. That's what it was. It was a power trip. And because I could tell, because you've got, when you get on the plane, you'll have like the two cabin crew that are there to tell you, if they have a look at your seat number, they say, turn left, and you got the 2 cabin crew there, and then there was another guy there who was also there. He was a cabin crew member, so you got 3. And then she just came out of nowhere. She came off the bridge thing that you go on. She just came in there and she heard what we were talking about within 1 minute. She took the letter, had a look, and told us to get off the plane. Just like that. I was like, wait, what? So now, just think about this scenario, guys. If we didn't have money to pay the doctor, what was going to happen? If we didn't have money to stay, especially, because, we're in discomfort and we'd already been at it 22, 23 hours, what was going to happen? They don't have those answers. She just literally took us off the plane and left us to this lady who was a local here in the airport. That's it.
She doesn't care.
Yeah, she didn't give a fuck. She actually didn't care. It was like there was no answers from her. Once she got us off, that was it. And just get a motel down the road, go to booking.com. And then she wants us to go and get our bags and drag them out of here, drag them to the motel, drag them back, go through that customs thing all again when this lady here, who's here in Singapore, said, why? There's a motel here. So we had to lose out on that money that the Qantas lady told us about at the motel just to stay here, which she didn't tell us there was a motel in here, so we don't have to do all that shit. So if you do that to someone you think is genuinely not well to travel, what the fuck are you up to? Like, if you actually think we're not safe to travel, why would you do that? Make us drag our shit around all over the place, walk our asses to the doctor, which would have taken us half an hour, if you thought we were unfit to fly.
Yeah, unfortunate experience.
So now we just gotta wait till 3, and they're gonna send us a cart to go back to Terminal 1. What do we do after that?
Oh, we just gotta get the golden tickets.
From where?
Level gate 1.
Gate 1?
Yeah, we go to gate 1. They're gonna take us there anyway. Boarding passes, and that's it.
Who do we show this clearance to?
I got the place to go. Got everything down.
Oh, but then...
Yeah.
And then they'll ring lost property about our bags?
Yeah, we're gonna get the bag, yeah.
The Singapore people here and the crew that helped us go to the doctor and all that, Qantas had nothing to do with it. Qantas had nothing to do getting us to the doctors. They had nothing to do with helping us locate a hotel. They had nothing.
Yeah,
all they did was dump us off the plane, and that was it. Nothing else.
5 minutes happened.
If Qantas is going to have a policy where you can't get on the plane, firstly, you have to follow up with the clearance, which we had a clearance, which you didn't. And then, what do you do after that? You can't just power trip people, get off the fucking plane and just dump them and leave them there. That's bullshit. So we've never seen any Qantas staff since her. So the people that helped us here get to the doctors, stayed with us through the whole time, because that young girl stayed with us at the doctor's for all their hours, was the Singaporean airport staff. It had nothing to do with Qantas. They made sure that we got got to the doctors. They made sure we got to the room. It's not Qantas. Qantas just kicked us off and did fuck all. And I feel like it's so sad because, we live in Australia. That's Qantas Airlines. My husband's an Australian citizen. I'm an Australian resident. And you just dump off the fucking plane like that.
No advice.
No advice, no nothing. Just catch a hotel at your own expense.
They didn't even say anything. They
Yeah, because I said, what are we going to do? Go to the doctor. And I said, then what? Get a hotel. I said, at our own expense, we're going to pay for it. And she said, yes. Fucking hell. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That is so crazy. So we haven't seen Qantas. We haven't seen them again. But she already organised us, like within that half an hour that we're in terminal, she organised our flights. So she took us off those flights and organised us flights back to tomorrow without a doctor's. This is why I'm so pissed.
The point is, if you got a doctor reference, you have to get another one, cost you extra money to get a double doctor. That's what it means. You know what I mean? It's just a joke. It doesn't make sense. How many doctor clearance you need to get onto plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not making sense.
Even with the doctor's clearance that I have, they gave me wheelchair at the airport. But once it came to Qantas, nothing. You gotta see a doctor. Why the fuck am I gonna see a doctor? Here's the clearance. Like, what the fuck? So, when we got off, she was like, that was it. The hype had gone because we got kicked off the plane. The cabin crew had gone. There was nobody in the waiting area where you board the plane. It was just me, him, and her. And she had no answers. You're gonna have to get a hotel. You can wait at the hotel, and I arranged the flight for 7:30 tomorrow. I'm thinking in my brain, how would you organize a flight already without a clearance?
Yeah, 7:30.
Like, you just took us off the plane, literally, and within half an hour, you've gone and organized us to get on a flight tomorrow without a clearance. If you think we don't have a clearance, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense. So here, get off the plane. I'll organize you another flight. You haven't seen the doctor yet, because that's what she wanted. It just, none of it made sense.
How many doctor you gotta see? You gotta already have one.
And the doctor here that we saw, he thought it was a joke. I'm not bullshitting you guys. He was just like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. He goes, you don't want to say anything. Don't say anything.
He asked which company.
Yeah, he goes, which airline? I said Qantas, and he said, don't say anything. And I understand for some people, you may think, oh, Qantas is just doing their job. Not like that, guys. I'm not fucking idiot. I'm not stupid. She didn't check anything. She escalated it within the first 5 minutes, and we were not allowed on that flight without listening to what we were saying, without checking our clearance, nothing.
You know how you want assistance, you want to help, or you want to get the, sometimes you got a right if you have any health issue and they want to help you out. No, they don't.
No.
They throw you out.
So,
they don't help you. That's the point.
Yeah, that's it too. Like, if she thought I was really unfit to travel, why just dump us there? Why just take us off the flight and fuck it, fend for your lives, guys?
If you need the help, don't ask.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
If you took us off the flight, now what?
Don't ask.
Okay, so when she said to us to walk, she goes, oh, the buggy, it's very, we can't find anybody right now. Can you walk down there to the doctors? I said, why would you ask me to walk there? If you took me off the plane, I said to her, if you took me off the plane and you think I'm unfit to travel, why would you make me walk down there to the doctors? Which, when we were on the buggy, guys, took 5 minutes on the buggy. Which, the way I'm walking, would have taken half an hour. That's on a buggy, took 5 minutes.
If you're going to travel with the Qantas, you had an operation, you got a doctor's certificate, don't ask anything, they throw you out. They won't help you.
Yes.
Yeah, simply that, they won't help you. Every other aircraft company, they did help. They got the wheelchair and everything.
And then she gave us to the Singaporean staff. So Qantas was finished. She just goes, this lady's going to look after you, just come back here tomorrow for your flight. And she pissed off on the phone. Da-da-da-da-da, and she fucked off. and left us there, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah, so if we didn't have clearance or we didn't have any of that, guys, I would have said, yeah, cool, yeah, fine, of course, company policy, all that. But guys, we had clearance, and the second thing is, I'm not going to jump on a plane if I know I'm not able to. If I'm thinking my stomach's going to blow the fuck up and my guts is going to fall out onto the floor while I'm up there in altitude, I wouldn't get on a plane anyway. You know. But anyway, that's what happened, and we're still in Singapore. So it's hot here. It's because it's Singapore, so it's like, I don't know, what's the temperature right now, babe? About 30.
Yeah, easy.
30, and it's like 11, nearly midday, nearly 12 midday. We have been, oh my god, we're so sweaty. The flights were really good with Emirates. They were, Emirates is always good. It was just a little bit hot on that last flight, eh? The cabin was really, really warm, and everyone was getting a little bit sweaty. But the flights were nice and smooth. Everything was smooth until we got to here. Yeah, I just want to get home, guys. I just want to get home because I need these lymphatic massages which help disperse the swelling. So I need that. My daughter's found somebody who deals with lymphatic massage post-surgery. So she actually, that's her field, that's what she does. So I can't wait to get home for that because I'm pretty swollen. And just to be able to have like because we don't have any clothes or anything, guys. We only got our carry-on, which has just Turkish delights and stuff in it. A lot of Turkish delights and stuff for our kiddies and a laptop. I can't see, my phone's blacking out. I'm from Singapore. Hey Sarah, no, I'm okay. Thank you so much. The Singaporean people at the airport have been bloody amazing, I'll tell you. And they're so patient. They're being really nice. Because the girl that was, there's another girl that was told to stay with us. She stayed with us the whole time, eh?
Yeah.
Like patient.
3-4 hours.
3-4 hours. She just stayed with us. Just sat waiting for the doctor.
This is the problem with the doctor went to emergency. If he didn't go to emergency, we would have finished a long time ago.
Yeah, because he was in an emergency on an aircraft that landed. So we had like a long wait, man. In a small little, what do you call it, hallway? We were just stuck in there, and it was just like, it was not it. It was not it. So you want to ask where your bags, so our bags are at the lost property because they took them off the plane, they put them at lost property, and they said, the Qantas lady said, if you go see the doctor, go get your bags at the lost property and go to a hotel which is down the road. But then you'll have to come back, go through customs and clear everything again. So lucky we didn't fucking listen to her. We lost some money though, but luckily we didn't listen to her. Because then the Singapore lady who was helping us, she's like, you don't have to go outside. There's a motel here. Let me make a phone call. I'll get back to you. So she ends up getting back to the girl who was with us, and she said she organized that we can stay here either 6 or 12 hours. You can stay, and it's within the airport, so you don't have to leave the airport and clear customs again. And then she goes, and then your bags, instead of picking them up from lost property, they'll just, once we've got our boarding pass, those bags will just get put on the flight that we're on. And I thought, why didn't the Qantas lady tell us this? Because she didn't give a shit. She was just too busy trying to be a boss bitch, trying to flex her authority. That's what it was. I'm telling you guys, I'm not like one of those winter people. You had to see it to believe it. It was get off the plane and then fuck, I don't know what to do from here, but let me show the cabin staff what I'm made of, and I was gonna take you off this flight. That's what it was, huh? No shit. I'm not trying to, make it look like, oh, this, that. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, we're waiting for the next flight, which is at 7:30. That's the flight she put us on without a doctor's clearance. And if she had told me we had to pay for it, I was going to lose my fucking head. The only reason I'm so angry, guys, is because we had a clearance. We had the clearance, and that... Okay, guys, I'm going to jump off because my phone's overheating. And I'll see you guys later when we're freshened up and we're going back towards our gate. I'll see you guys then. But that's what happened.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.